Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Russell Goodacre. I'm a proud Shepherdstown University alumni, class of 2018. I want to thank Teresa for inviting me here to speak with everyone today, and I am a proud self-publishing author of Tackling Dyslexia and Learning Disabilities, a memoir by Russell Goodacre. So my story starts when I was 3 years old. My parents, they enrolled me at a small Quaker school called Friends Meeting School in Inesville, Maryland. When I was there, I struggled immediately in school. My preschool teacher realized I was having difficulties communicating with my other classmates. I couldn't read, and I was struggling to write. With that, we tried many different strategies throughout the years, whether it was working with my parents on homework, trying to get involved with other students in my classes, and things progressed here and there, but there was also work that would happen. When I was in kindergarten, we did 1 year where in the morning, I would be at Friends Meeting School in the morning, and then try being in the Frederick County Public School System in the afternoon. Needless to say, it was a really rough experience in kindergarten for me when I was 5 years old. A lot of things just didn't go well, and we realized that we need to try something different. So in the fall of 2003, when I was 7 years old, my parents enrolled me at the Lab School Washington in Washington, D.C. The school was founded by Sally Smith, and in the 1960s, she created the school based off of her son, Gary, the youngest of three, who also had dyslexia and other learning disabilities. Gary had a hard time memorizing a lot of things throughout his life until she threw birthday parties for Gary, and where there were themed, whether it was like a pirate theme party, knights and ladies, dragons, so on. This helped Gary tremendously grow to where he can remember events and life experiences. And because of this is how the curriculum in the lower school up through 6th grade of the lab school was created. When I was there, I experienced those clubs, which is now known as the academic club method there. And with that, it was like our history sort of feeling and experiences. And we did that along with reading, math, writing, language arts, PE, and other subjects. Another area that the lab school was very creative was in the power of the arts. Sally Smith, she teamed up with the artist named Robert Rauschenberg, and through this, they created a conference every year where adults can come to the lab school and they can learn about how the arts can help students with learning disabilities achieve and be successful. I took dance class for many years. That's where I learned rhythm and a lot of other fun, fun areas. Sally Smith also created a graduate school program at American University in DC for special education. And a lot of people would take that master's program and teach us throughout the school day. And at night, she would create night school for individuals with learning disabilities who were never diagnosed when they were younger. For example, Dexter Manley, former Washington Redskin and Super Bowl champion, came through our program, and it was a tremendous help for him in his life. When I got into the high school, we started being graded for the first time, where we would be graded in tests and quizzes, homework, classwork. I was good in classwork and homework, but tests and quizzes I always struggled at. So we tried many different strategies. And one thing that I realized was, as a big sports fan myself, I love the Baltimore Orioles. The man who I consider my idol is Cal Ripken Jr. And every day, from 1982 to 1998, he played in every single game. And when I mean every game, every game. And during his streak, he played shortstop, which is a very demanding position. And when he would bat, there were many times where a baseball player would have one signature stance for their entire career. For Cal, he probably had as many stances as he did in games. For example, I love his violin stance where he would stand there at the plate, just have his bat on his shoulder, just like rub it back and forth, waiting for breaking balls, and then he would hit it, and it would help out quite a bit. So that's where I realized that it's okay to chain adjustments whether you're studying tests and quizzes, and it did work, and I'm very happy that it did. As I got older, and I graduated from lab school in 2014, I was looking at colleges. One place in particular stood out to me, Shepherd. Very close to home. I realized when I was looking at schools that I can get out of Shepherd debt-free because of the academic market where I go for sports communication. So I was very happy to do that. When I got here, I did a semester, did very well, and one class in particular for me stood out. It was a games class with Ernie McCook, who was at the time the offensive coordinator here at Shepherd for the football program. At the end of the class in December of 2014, he asked me to join the football program as a student assistant quality control coach. I was floored. Never been involved in football in my life. So I played baseball, soccer, basketball, track and field, and golf. Did pretty well of them, but never football. So of course I watched football throughout my life, but I was never involved in organized football. So I was always like, wow, he really wants me. This is quite amazing. So for the next 3 years, from the spring of 2015 to the fall of 2017, began this incredible journey, being a part of the Shepherd University Area football program, where I meet many incredible different players, coaches, support staff, people like Jamie Deason, former tight end, became one of my good friends, Matt Miller, famous broadcaster here for Shepherd in Martinsburg. This community means so much to me. We went 36-3, including playing in the playoffs all 3 years, going undefeated in the regular season, making 2 Final Fours, and the highlight being in 2015 playing for the school's first and only national championship appearance in any sport. One of the most important parts to me during that 2015 season was we had won a game at Concord, a very tough 35-28 game. And there were many times throughout the year where I asked Coach McCook, what's the most important thing to you about coaching and everything that goes on? And what do you find most valuable? His answer would surprise me. The people. That's what matters most, whether it's the players, his fellow coaches, supporters, administrators, teachers. They made coming to work beneficial every single day. I was taken back for it. Never realized that I was going to be expected to hear that answer, but it made sense. And I truly found out when I left here how awesome everybody is here and how supportive they are and how much they genuinely care about everybody. After I graduated from here, I went to, let me backtrack for a second here. I ended up going to work at Disney World briefly for a college internship. Had a unique experience, thought it was cool, got to learn more about sports, got to visit ESPN in summer of 2017 because I wanted to be a sports broadcaster briefly. And then I realized, maybe I need to go to grad school. So I started grad school here at Shepherd in the fall of 2018, where I helped out in the TRIO Support Services program, where they were instrumental in helping get me appropriate accommodations along with the Disabilities Support Service Office. I helped the Board Baker and Johnson Fuentes in mentoring Berkeley County youth for a whole academic year for all 4 high schools in Martinsburg, Spring Mills, Hedgesville, and Musselman. A lot of those kids went on to college. I was glad I could help them out. But I did realize that deep down I wanted to work in sports, and Shepherd didn't have a sports management type of grad school program, so I had to look elsewhere. I went to Georgetown. I know, really big step. Georgetown was a very amazing experience for me. 3 blocks from went to school at the lab school. Went into their sim program, learned a lot. Learned about what was going on in sports at the time. I had a great experience. During the halfway part of it, COVID happened. Big challenge for everybody. Great for someone with learning disability. Granted, I've done an online class here at Shepherd, but doing a whole online program at this point, it's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie, but especially with that great of a program, how great the institution at Georgetown is. But I was very appreciative of how helpful everybody was in accommodating me and helping me get through all those hard times when it comes to tests and homework and being on time. They were great. Can't thank them enough. So as COVID was going on, I graduated from Georgetown in December 2020. And the sports industry, like all industries, because of COVID, were not doing too well. So one of my friends was working in the public health industry, and he told me that his job was hiring people because they need help with COVID. So he told me to really apply because he knew about what I did with the upper bound program here in TRIO. He said, it's good for the public service and it would look good for us. Or look at a shot. So I ended up getting in October of 2020, and things were going well at first. I was helping out our local community where I was and in the state of Maryland, and then things started out to go well. Part of it was my fault. Part of it was the host that I was assigned to. Part of it was the program with the expectations. We were randomly matched to different host sites across the country. So, and then things went really, really bad where I was forced to leave the host site, got reassigned to a temporary deployment at our headquarters in the country where I was remote, got to help them out quite a bit. And then in December of 21, I was put on deployment from Christmas through New Year's in Philadelphia, helping our COVID-19 response and giving out free test kits to international travelers, Afghan refugees. So that was a unique experience. And during this time, for about 8 or 9 months, I wasn't doing quite public health work, which was not within the line of the program I was working with. So even though I was doing well the last few months, even though I was reassigned, I was asked to leave. It hurt. It sucked, to be quite honest. And there were things I had to self-evaluate, go through, and figure out what am I going to do with myself. Part of the one thing that I'm proud about For a 2-year period, I wrote this book, Tackling Dyslexia and Learning Disabilities, Memoir by Russell Goodacre. This for me was both very therapeutic in a way where I can help people like myself who struggle with reading or writing, or other kind of learning disabilities, saying, hey, you can be successful. And also, if you do well and you can struggle elsewhere, just know that it's okay, and then, you can always bounce back. One of the best things that I wrote about this book was, try to find ways to see how I can help somebody, whether it's one person, maybe it's an entire community, whether it's people at the lab school, people here at Shepherd or this community, like everyone here, or at Georgetown, or back when I was in Boy Scouts or maybe Eagle Scout, and just learning that, you can do anything that you want to put your mind to it. This book was both, I would say, a massive step out of my comfort zone, plus a leap of faith. There's no way in my wildest dreams I would imagine writing a 234-page book over 100,000 words. No one in their right mind would have thought that, and rightfully so. I mean, it was hard. Very thankful for the fact that my whole family was very supportive from the get-go. My dad, sitting back over here, he was a major person helping me edit the book and getting me through it. My sister was instrumental in that too. My mom was a great consultant because she helped me in the public school system where we ended up St. Frederick County did help me, and I got full tuition, reimbursement over lab school every day for 11 years. That helped me out tremendously, and I can't thank everybody enough. And a lot of people have asked me during the process of my book, there's been 2 main questions. The first one being, what is the thing that you're looking forward to the most? Like, what do you want to get out of this? For me, as I mentioned earlier, if I can help one person out, that's all that matters. If my story helps somebody in some way, shape, or form, that's the best. The second thing that I've been asked quite a bit was, how do I want to be remembered? For me, that question is it comes from my idol Cal Ripken, who in his farewell speech in front of 50,000 fans at Camden Yards under a singular strobe light said it best. The answer is simple. To be remembered at all is pretty special. And if I am remembered, I hope it's because by living my dream, I was able to make a difference. Thank you.